Hello, I would like to tell you a few things about how words change over the course of their lives. My name is Ryan Goslitsky. I'm co-founder and CEO of League of Linguists, and we do quite a lot of stuff. Coaching, translation editing, communication consultation, all that kind of stuff. And we're into anything really. We'll do whatever you've got. If it's interesting or not, send it to us. Anyway, I would like to tell you why you shouldn't wish someone a nice day. So, what does it mean, have a nice day? What does nice mean in that? When you say to someone, have a nice day? What are you saying? Do you really mean it? Nah. You say it because it's the kind of thing somebody expects you to say when you're about to leave them. It's like a departing comment, isn't it? It's a bit like saying to someone, bon appetit. Bon appetit, I mean, what does it mean? Enjoy your meal. Okay, yes, well, we know you're about to eat. It's lunchtime or whatever. You're going out the door towards the cafeteria or whatever. But quite frankly, do you really wish someone a nice day? I mean, do you really go, oh, I hope they have a nice day. I really do. And I hope they enjoy their lunch. No, not really. I mean, we don't even really have that in English. We don't really have a word. Enjoy your meal. In parts of Manchester where they say, good luck. In any case, have a nice day is such a throwaway kind of phrase, but it's something which people say in order to kind of initiate the closing of their conversation. Oh, and this is the thing, what does nice actually mean? Because it's one of those words I really don't like to use. I'll show you. In order to do this, we're going to go back and see where this word comes from. So, if we were to go back 700 or 800 years, we'd find out that this word actually meant foolish or stupid or senseless. It comes from the old French "nice," and this in turn kind of also gave the idea of those things there: careless, clumsy, weak, poor, needy, simple, stupid, silly, foolish. In other words, not a very bright person, not the sharpest knife in the shed, right? So, now, this actually came from the old Latin "nescius," which means ignorant or unaware. So if you know your Latin, ne means of course not, and scire, which is from the Latin to know as in a thing, for example the word science. Yeah. And it kind of gives us the idea of someone who's not particularly very up to the job of learning. Someone who's probably destined for a life of wondering what they could have done. So as they would say in Scotland, your dad eats Pringles with a fork. Something like that, yeah? Well, let's have a look how this really came down, because the journey of this particular word nice is tremendous. So let's go back to pre-1300, and it had the idea of timid. So it had gone from being foolish, stupid, senseless to being timid. In other words, someone who was afraid of or shy of actually progressing or doing something to enhance their the quality of what they were doing. And then, of course, the idea came on that it meant fussy and fastidious. So someone who was timid, who didn't want to do something, was obviously therefore fussy. Oh, I don't like that. Oh, no. And then it came onto the 15th century as the idea of dainty and delicate. If you can think of someone going, oh, I don't like that, well, then they're also going to be someone who might be delicate, delicate little flower. Don't touch them because they might wilt. Don't give them too much water, they might die. Don't give them too little water, they might die. just the right amount, whatever that might be. Is there a right amount? Who knows? They're dainty and delicate, fussy, fastidious. And so this idea put forward the idea of someone precise and careful. So if you are fussy and fastidious, you're also going to be someone who is precise and careful. So the kind of the meaning is moving along a little bit. It's become less negative and less kind of something to look down on, and more something exact. Yeah. But by the 16th century, when this precise and careful idea came about, if you can think of someone who's precise and careful, they want to do everything perfectly. Perfectionists. And this is how we got to the idea of agreeable and delightful, which is by the 18th century. And that is, if you can imagine someone who does everything correctly, by this time as we're coming into the 16 and 1700s, people were far more obsessed with correctness. And so this word took off in that way. So then we haven't yet got around to what it means today, but by 1830 we're getting there. Kind and thoughtful. Funnily enough, now the source is from Etim Online. It's a very, very good place to go to get any of your material. If you want to know where a word came from, I really recommend it. And then of course today it means pleasant, enjoyable, satisfactory. And we haven't yet got to the other part. This is only about, how do we get away from personalities of people and onto actual more abstract things? Well, we can see the abstract things here. I'm just going to move myself. I'm going to put myself up there, nicely, kind of out of the way a little bit. And I seem to have stopped moving. Oh, there I go. I'm moving around again. That's nice. Okay. It's nice, huh? Even I say nice. So it's been nice seeing you. And all of these here, they have a certain different element to them. So first one is an experience. There's always a nice perfume in here. It's a smell. We all had a nice time at the beach as an activity. Your uncle is very nice. Stay away. Personality. Gloucester has a nice city centre. There's architecture. The rain is nice on my shoulders and head. It's a feeling. Her brother is so nice. I hope he's single. I'm on the 5th floor of Suits. Come and get me. Attraction. And the meeting was a nice way to finish the week. It's an opinion. In all of these cases, they are not just about the personality. Only one is. Many other things. When you say whether someone is nice, you're not talking about whether you mean to look at or as a person. Even then. It's such a throwaway word. It's still very, very vague, even so many hundreds of years after its first use. Which is why I recommend using alternatives. And we've got some here. Pleasant. Splendid, enjoyable, wonderful, fantastic, delightful, fine, beautiful, lovely, tremendous. Have one of these days. And if you want to be maybe a little bit more professional with someone, why don't you say have a productive day, or a creative day, or a fruitful day, inspirational day, or even a successful day. Plenty of different ways to use that to eliminate the necessity of nice. Okay, so I'm going to move myself over again. I'm going to go over there. Here we are. Right, finding alternatives. So, in order to when we try and find alternatives, it's very beneficial because you're trying not to repeat. You're trying to keep an elegant style, and you're maintaining professionalism by doing it. Finding alternatives is a very useful thing to do, and of course, it means you need to stick to the subject matter. So, what do I mean by that? Well, It's okay to repeat certain words, whether they're subject, verb, object, or essential adjective or adverbs. Yeah, they're pretty right. Because sometimes if you use another word, people might not know you're talking about the same thing. So it's important to do that. By the way, I have a terrible cold, so don't mind me if I sit here and cough and splutter. Right? Moving on. So which words should we not repeat? Well, words like conjunctions and linking phrases. These are things like therefore, furthermore. That sounds awful. If I were to repeat the subject, a verb, or an object all the time, it's not a problem. But if I were to keep repeating a word like but, it just sounds like I've got a very, very, very poor grasp of the English language. So here is but. And instead of using but, we could use, for example, however, or nevertheless. And there are hundreds more. Well, not hundreds, maybe 2 or 3 or 4 more. How about a word like furthermore? What can we do with that? Well, in addition, besides, moreover. So, what does so mean? Well, it can mean due to this, or as a result, thus. Well, that's not one I like to use. I don't like to use this either. It's a bit bookish. For example, people think there's only one. Nope. I could say namely or such as, and a few others. Likewise. What can we do with likewise? Well, similarly or correspondingly. And then especially, why not use particularly or chiefly? Chiefly is a little bit more written than spoken, I would say, but the rest. Correspondingly, I'm not sure we would say. Maybe we would say it in like a press conference or a presentation, but we might not use it, talking to your wife at home. So, darling, I've made us a nice pot of soup. Correspondingly, I've got some bread with it. Doesn't sound particularly attractive conversation for the spouse, but in a text, in an important text, it's fine. All right. So, finding alternatives and varying your words helps with things like synonymization. This is triangularization of your language. So that means that you, instead of referring to your original language to find a word, you will actually find another word you want to use in the language that you are speaking. So therefore, don't translate from your own language. That's something I'm going to go into another time. Because translating from your own language is very, very detrimental to your progress in becoming a fully fledged speaker of said language. It helps you to be original. You can find many ways of saying something similar without having to refer to the default words. It helps to maintain others' interests, of course, and it can give you a positive reputation. I think those are very important elements there. So, I hope that was interesting. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. If you managed to get this far. You can email us on info@lowlinguist.com, or you can like, comment, or share on any of our online social media platforms. On that note, I'm going to go and hide in a corner and die slowly. Thank you ever so much for your attention, and I wish you a thoroughly, thoroughly lovely day.